Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google, one of the 5 most admired companies in the world. Nandan Nilekani, co-founder of Infosys Technologies, ranked by Forbes as among the globe's 5 best-performing software and services companies. Wendy Kopp, founder and CEO of Teach for America and one of the nation's premier social entrepreneurs. And A.G. Lafley of Procter & Gamble, whose relentless focus on the customer earned him CEO of the Year honors from Chief Executive Magazine. Schmidt, Nilekani, Kopp, Lafley. What do they all have in common? They're not only phenomenally successful as innovators, as value creators, as transformative leaders, they also count themselves as disciples of Peter Drucker. We are, of course, still working our way through a profoundly turbulent time. In 2008, according to the Asian Development Bank, financial assets around the globe plunged by $50 trillion, a staggering amount roughly equal to the total annual output of the world's economy. In 2009, according to the International Labor Organization, 240 million people around the world were unemployed, the highest level of joblessness ever recorded. It is too simplistic to say that the insights of any one person could have prevented such disaster. But it is undeniable that we'd all be better off had we paid a little more attention to Peter Drucker. At the root of the crisis are basic failures of management. Too many companies focused on short-term profits at the expense of long-term stewardship. Too many substituted cleverness for genuine innovation. And too many have treated their people as expendable instead of as their most important resource. In all of this, corporate America has violated the basic principles that Peter Drucker taught us. Economic performance is the first responsibility of a business, Drucker wrote. But it is not the only responsibility of a business. Every organization must assume full responsibility for its impact on employees, the environment, customers, and whomever and whatever it touches. This is its social responsibility. At other times, Drucker was even more succinct, declaring that the first responsibility of any executive can be boiled down to the code established more than 2,500 years ago by the Greek physician Hippocrates. Above all, do no harm. For more than 60 years, through more than 10,000 book pages, Drucker blessed us with this kind of practical wisdom, as well as unparalleled insights into innovation, entrepreneurship, the customer, the employee, knowledge work, planning, communication, teamwork, ethics, and effectiveness. It's no wonder that Business Week called Drucker simply the man who invented management. Or that Tom Peters has said of Drucker, he launched the practice of management as we know it to this day, and probably as we will know it for decades to come. That Harvard's Rosabeth Moss Kanter has described Drucker's uncanny prescience this way. Peter Drucker's eyeglasses must contain crystal balls because he anticipated so many trends. Or that Jim Collins has said that he discovered Drucker's intellectual fingerprints on so many of our greatest companies, General Electric, Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Hewlett-Packard, and Motorola, that he was tempted to give his first book, Built to Last, a different title. Drucker was right. November 2009 would have been Drucker's 100th birthday. The Drucker Institute and the Drucker School, along with their friends and affiliates around the world, are celebrating this milestone through the Drucker Centennial, a slate of activities and events from Claremont, California to Beijing, China, from Brazil to Korea, from Japan to Argentina, from Mumbai, India to Peter's birthplace in Vienna, Austria. The Centennial, which continues through fall 2010, has attracted an extraordinary array of leaders who are actively helping not just to preserve Drucker's legacy, but to build on his work and put his principles into practice. One Centennial Chair, Pastor Rick Warren, author of The Purpose-Driven Life, is extending Drucker's teachings through his global network of socially connected churches. Another Centennial Chair, David Gergen, is using his powerful voice to infuse the public discourse with Drucker-like clarity and perspective. And corporate leaders who are making the future today, people like Costco's Jim Sinegal and Scott Cook of Intuit, are also thinking a lot about Drucker. They gathered in Claremont at the invitation of another Drucker Centennial Chair, P&G's A.G. Lafley, to discuss what Drucker thought the role of the CEO should be as we roll further into the 21st century. And so, how can you get involved through the centennial and beyond? You can join us at any of the Drucker Centennial events happening around the world. All of them are listed at www.drucker100.com. You might consider enrolling at the Drucker School, where Drucker taught for the last 35 years of his career in one of its customized executive education courses. Or you may consider sending one of your most talented managers of the future to the school's values-oriented MBA or EMBA programs. Drucker is not only one of the smallest business schools in the nation, it was also recently ranked by the Princeton Review as one of the 15 best. The Drucker School has consciously embraced Drucker's concept of management as a liberal art, drawing on all the knowledge and insights of the humanities and the social sciences. This way of thinking has led to the recent launching of 3 pioneering initiatives: joint degree programs with Claremont Graduate University's School of Mathematical Sciences and School of Arts and Humanities, and a concurrent degree program with Southwestern Law School. You can pick up a copy of The Drucker Difference, a new anthology of essays from Drucker School faculty based on the unique gateway course that the Drucker School requires of all its entering students. You can see how Drucker's timeless wisdom informs today's hottest issues through Drucker apps, distributed every other week by the Drucker Institute, a think tank and sister institution to the Drucker School. Drucker Apps is a downloadable collection of useful insights on work and life from Peter Drucker, as well as like-minded thinkers and practitioners. You can find even more Drucker-like perspectives on today's headlines in Business Week Online, which publishes a twice-monthly column by the Institute's executive director. The Drucker Institute's new management training system, Drucker Unpacked, allows organizations of all kinds to master Drucker's core principles and then quickly turn them into action. With the Institute's proprietary process and materials, participants actually drive the learning themselves, create their own ahas, and turn their insights into results, just as Drucker himself prescribed. The Institute's global network of Drucker Societies is a burgeoning collection of all volunteer organizations that are applying Drucker's ideas and ideals in their local communities. Drucker Societies, from Dallas to Dubai, China to Austria, Sao Paulo to Seoul, are creating meaningful and measurable results across all sectors. Among their activities, a Drucker in High Schools program, management training for nonprofit and NGO leaders, workshops on innovation and entrepreneurship, sessions on social responsibility for corporate executives, and action-oriented book clubs that are committed to turning reading into results. As we all know, these are not easy times. The most successful organizations recognize that to survive and thrive, they must get back to the fundamentals of great management. They must, that is, get back to where it all began, the teachings of Peter F. Drucker. Drucker's insights on effective management, ethical leadership, and social responsibility have never been more essential. Quite simply, we need Drucker now more than ever.